Good evening. I'm Laura Beth Richardson. I'm privileged to serve as one of the chaplains in the hospital. So thank you for joining us tonight on what is a grand occasion to honor Jeanne VanPoppel, who's chosen to live as a healing presence on this planet, coming alongside others and helping to hold their pain. Even the origin of the word compassion comes from the Latin word meaning to suffer with. So please join me in spirit to spirit in offering the invocation this evening. God, we know there is no end to the line of people in this world who are hurting and need our care and kindness. Give us the grace to be generous with our compassion, that our hands might become extensions of your hands and our service, a conduit for your mercy. It's not an easy place to be, so near to suffering, to injury, to pain, to emergency and fear and confusion and grief, but it is exactly the sort of place you would be, Lord, right among the hurting. So continue to give us the courage to be able to draw near to those who need us. And let our presence in this place lend a human face to your mercy and to be responsive to the hearts of human beings that are made in your image, just as we are. And let the time that we spend with those who are suffering be a taste that might awaken an expectant hunger in their hearts. Thank you that Jeanne was not just a medical provider or a nurse, but a source of your healing and your compassion at work in the world and a witness of your love. This love that was expressed in the care she took of others who were so in need of just a human touch. And may we always remember that it is your compassion that binds us to one another as human beings who are continuing to learn how to turn our common suffering always into hope. And let us never forget, God, that we belong to one another just as we belong to you. And in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Laura Beth, for that absolutely beautiful invocation. Spectacular. Good evening, everybody. It's great to be with all of you tonight. Special thanks to Jeanne's family members, friends, and colleagues who are here with us tonight to be a part of this special presentation in your honor. Her two children, Brian and Lisa, are present this evening and deserve our congratulations as well. Thank you for lending your mom to us. We are so incredibly grateful for that. And we know, and I'm certain, that your beloved husband, Tom, is here with us in spirit as well. Before we begin our formal program tonight, I'd like to invite you to join me in observing a moment of silence in remembrance of Sister Marie Cecilia Irwin, President and CEO of the University of Maryland St. Joseph Medical Center from 1975 to 1994. We lost her last week. It's only fitting that we take time to reflect on the indelible impact that Sister Marie Cecilia had at this event, because this event celebrates the dedication and hard work and excellence of our nurses, and at her core, Sister Marie Cecilia was a nurse. She led St. Joe's during a vital time in our history. Under her direction, the hospital grew and expanded, most notably by becoming the first community hospital in the state of Maryland to have an open heart program in 1982, and through the amazing work she did in obstetrics that was truly groundbreaking. We're truly blessed to have had Sister Marie Cecilia in our lives. She will remain forever a part of the strong fabric of this culture at St. Joe's. We thank God for the life of Sister Marie Cecilia and rejoice that she is now in God's loving embrace. Thank you. So in 2014, we initiated the Profiles of Compassion Society to recognize exceptional nurses who've shown a truly extraordinary commitment to our founding sisters of St. Francis of Philadelphia's ideals of reverence, integrity, compassion, excellence, and stewardship. The nurses in this society emulate the sisters through their excellence in nursing, combined with their daily expressions of love in caring for their patients, as well as us, their colleagues. They are truly the best of us. Jeanne began serving our organization, I found out, during your teenage years as a volunteer. You came on board as a volunteer, wow, so many years ago, and determined to give back in a meaningful way at a local Catholic hospital. She was inspired by what she saw, so much so that her experience solidified her decision to go to nursing school so that she could give of herself to others through her career. Truly a servant's heart. Jeanne joined St. Joe's officially as a nurse in 1964, and she can tell stories, which I'd love to hear, about our move into this new hospital at the time. It's grown quite a bit over the years, hasn't it, Jeanne? Yeah, remarkable. Wow. Orthopedic care proved to be her true calling, and in 1992, Jeanne was the recipient of the hospital's very prestigious Employee of the Year award. Jeanne remained a key member of our nursing team until 2008, when she retired. So, Jeanne, as you imagine, I guess you were surprised by my call, but you should know that after more than a decade after you retired, you were still thought of here as an instrumental and inspiring leader by your colleagues. And so they voted you into this very prestigious society. Jeanne has made an indelible mark on our organization and our culture of loving service and compassionate care. So, Jeanne, I want to personally congratulate you on your well-deserved selection as a 2020 Profiles of Compassion Society inductee. We are really so grateful for the commitment that you made to St. Joseph's so many years ago and through your career here as a nurse. You have lived our true north through your 44 years of unselfish service to our patients, our colleagues, and our community. Your impact on St. Joe's will never be forgotten. Thank you so much. And so at this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Ira Federer, one of our spine surgeons who worked with Jeanne on the orthopedics unit, to share his perspective on the value Jeanne has brought to our organization during her years of service. Dr. Federer.
Jeanne is sitting there shuddering at what I might talk about. Well, so Jeanne has not seen me for a long time, and she's only seen me with the beard, which I've had for 40 years until COVID-19. So Jeanne, I was asked to speak because I was old enough to remember you. I was old enough to have worked with you and young enough to remember you. And I'm going to keep this brief because you don't need a lot of words. You gave us lots of deeds over the years. But as most everybody here knows, I'm a surgeon, and we surgeons come in and out of the hospital. We zip in, we zip out. Some of us sit down and talk to their patients, but lots of people don't. And it's the nursing staff that sits with patients and interacts with patients all day. And it's the nurses who allow us to do what we do and to keep our patients safe and comfortable. And at the end of the day, when we go home and put our heads down to rest, it's because nurses like Jeanne who are here that allow us to do that. So, you know, when patients come into the hospital through the ED or through the ORs, they come into the hospital and they're anxious and they're afraid and they're in pain. By the time they get to the 6th floor, those feelings are magnified by fatigue and hunger and frequently disorientation. It takes a really special person to walk into that potential disaster that chaos and just kind of smooth it out. Make it easy for those patients and those families. Jeanne can make things very calm, can take chaos and make it calm. And that's a really, really unbelievable skill that you cannot teach. You can take that chaos and turn it into a positive, warm, safe environment for those people that are sitting in that room. You have to have compassion and empathy. You can teach technical skills. You cannot teach the ability to walk in and make someone feel safe and comfortable. And that's what Jeanne could do. So, thank you.
Nurses are like that. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Rose Labriolo, and Jeanne and I just met a little bit ago. So, I want to thank you, Dr. Federer, on behalf of the nursing team here at University of Maryland St. Joseph Medical Center. I'd like to congratulate Jeanne and thank her for the many years of valuable service to us. In more ways than I can be counted, you exemplify our St. Joseph nursing staff. The mission, the values of your every day-to-day work, beginning so many years ago. You know, I'm getting close to my retirement too, and this is off script also. But we stand on the nurses' shoulders that were before us. And my staff is standing on your shoulders because they are outstanding, and I heard nothing but outstanding things about you too. Jeanne devoted her career to nursing, and she was a fantastic clinical care provider. I believe that she will forever be recognized as one of the pioneers in the advancement of orthopedic care over the past several decades. But in some ways, I also see Jeanne as a wonderful historian for the St. Joseph nursing staff. Not many can think back to what the hospital looked like, how it functioned, and what it meant to the community in the 60s. Over these many decades, Jeanne was an integral part of the hospital's transformation into the organization as it is today. Reflecting back, there were some good days. You know, those old good days. I have those in the 70s. You were in the 60s. And then there was some less than good days. But Jeanne stayed. Her loyalty to UM St. Joseph never wavered. And for that, we are eternally grateful. At this time, I'd like to invite Michelle McKee to the podium. And Michelle is a nurse who was a member of the inaugural Profiles of Compassion Society in 2014, and she'll have the great honor of officially inducting Jeanne into the Profiles of Compassion Society this evening. Take it away, Michelle.
Thank you, Rose. Are you afraid about what I might say? I have stories. I have lots of stories. In the spirit of full disclosure, I'm a crier, and every time this week that I have read my prepared remarks, I cry, but I came prepared. They say people come and go through our lives for a reason. Sometimes the reasons aren't so clear, but this one is crystal clear to me. I have had the blessing and good fortune of knowing Jeanne since Saturday, September 26th, 1981, at approximately 2:55 p.m. Because we're punctual, I know we were there before 3. That was my first shift working here at St. Joe's as a nursing assistant on the orthopedic unit, which at that time was on 5 East. I was scared to death until Nancy High introduced me to the nurse I was going to be working with that evening. When Jeanne came around the corner with that beautiful smile and told me, "It's going to be just fine. We're going to have a great night," suddenly I felt at ease. She could have easily dismissed me and my lack of clinical knowledge, grumbling about, why do I have to work with a new girl? But she didn't. She took me under her gentle wing and taught me all the nuances of the art of orthopedic nursing, things that are not found in any of our textbooks. Jeanne is a natural nurse, always knowing the right thing to say and do to make everyone feel better. And by everyone, I mean patients, visitors, staff, and even orthopedic surgeons. Jeanne's gift of the innate ability to convey the power of positive thinking in every aspect of her life is contagious. Certainly a lesson we can all learn. Jeanne's picture could be sitting next to the saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. What I didn't realize that night is that over the course of the next few decades, Jeanne would turn out to be one of my lifelong role models, not only professionally, but personally. Her fierce devotion to her family, her amazing husband Tom, and her beautiful children, Lisa and Brian, taught me that it was possible to balance a busy home life and a career devoted to helping others, and still manage to throw a fantastic Super Bowl party every February. Jeanne was a leader on the unit that everyone looked up to, and you learned right away that if you wanted to keep up with Jeanne, you had to walk really, really fast. We knew the evenings that Jeanne was in charge, everything was going to be A-okay. We knew she could handle anything thrown her way and was always there to lend a helping hand. I'm just one of the lives in the long line of people that Jeanne has touched here at St. Joe's, and she has helped us become better versions of ourselves by just knowing her. It is my honor and privilege to ask Jeanne to come up and join me at this time. Jeanne, on behalf of the University of Maryland St. Joseph Medical Center, it is my honor and privilege to induct you into the class of 2020 Profiles of Compassion. It's real pretty. Congratulations. Get your notes.
Sorry, everybody. Michelle's not the only one who can cry. Thank you, everybody. Dr. Smythe, Dr. Federer, Michelle. Thank you all for coming. To say that I'm honored to receive this award is quite an understatement. However, nothing like this is ever achieved alone, and I owe a debt of gratitude and thank you to so many people. To my mom and dad for her heart and her passion, and for his logic and love of science, thank you. To my children for putting up with many missed holidays and weekends, for overlooking my somewhat casual responses to minor scrapes and bruises, concentrating on only the bigger things, like the time they wanted to camp out overnight in the backyard. Well, of course, I said no because California had reported an illness with a possible link to the bubonic plague. Yes, it remains a cause for laughter to this day, yet here we are in 2020. Funny, not funny. I guess I was just a few decades and a plague off. Thank you, Lisa and Brian, I love you. A big thank you goes to my late husband, who was my biggest supporter. Because he became so disabled so early in our marriage, and because he dealt with it with such grace and determination, it gave me a unique insight into the lives of many that I would care for. I learned the importance of dignity, perseverance, and humor, especially for those who felt vulnerable. It taught me firsthand how deeply affected patients and family members are, who are touched by disabilities, illnesses, and fear of the unknown. Thank you, Tom. The people that I worked with over the years helped to shape my career, whether it was by their example or by what they expected of me. Many of you I will call friends forever. Thank you all. There's not one of you that I didn't learn something from. And finally, the hospital itself. It's not just a place. It's made up of many moving parts, all of them with big hearts and one goal: to better serve the patients that they care for. Thank you, St. Joe's, for giving me the opportunity to grow and to learn, and perhaps to have made a difference. I will forever be grateful for our time together. Thank you all.